Welcome back to the playthrough. This is our MMO sleep playlist. I gotta do cosplay here as well. Welcome, Late Primrose to the channel. Very nice VTuber. Found her playing some Metroid. Nice time. So that is what we have here. I think also she's playing this strange DS game. Very Japanese-like, so I did try to explore a little bit of the areas that are symbolic of that. I think I did a pretty good job on the cosplay too. It looks quite nice. She got them dogs out. Even on the model, that is not like a thing that I added. Like legitimate, she has the dogs out the entire time. Control yourself, people. Control yourself. I know. Protect your meat. I think that is the title of the episode today. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Protect your meat, people. So let's talk about it. Let's explain it. So when I say meat, of course we all know the one definition, right? But there is an acronym for it. MEAT, as defined by Urban Dictionary, is money, energy, attention, and time. Also my voice cracked. That was pretty funny. Yeah, money, energy, attention, and time. And the reason why we say protect this is because this is basically your life force as a man, okay? This is what you have to give to our wonderful VTuber women like Late Primrose, or anyone in your real life, perhaps, you know, if you're somebody who deals with fleshies instead of the superior type of anime women. And generally, the act of life, a lot of people think it's about how much DPS you can do, you know, how much damage you can accumulate. But in this modern world, where there are no healers, where every healer is actively using deceitful tactics to drain your health in other ways, to steal your MP, being a tank is much more valuable. And I was a tank for a while. Problem with me is that I was using Scapegoat for everyone else instead of learning to, you know, just tank my own damage. And that turned me into one of these weirdo depressed idiots who just keeps going towards girls, guys, anybody who just kind of abuses you. You know, doesn't give you what you're meant to get, deserving, you know? Doesn't really acknowledge your true power or strength. That kind of energy, right? Very common for me. And I fully admit that I went towards it. I embraced it. I encouraged it because it's what I knew, you know? It's not like I liked it. I would still like to say that I kind of do like it, you know, because it's just what I'm used to, you know? It's something that I still, even to this day, gravitate towards, but I have to realize that, you know, even if I meet somebody like that, I don't have to let them be that way with me. I can still like them. I can still hang out with them. But I have to let them know, if you're gonna talk to me, you have to show respect. You have to. And if you don't, there's consequences, you know, and that's it. And so that's why I say it's not really about DPS, man. Nobody cares how much damage you do. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you deal 8 million damage as a solo player, you know, you don't need anybody to beat the boss, okay? You can just beat it by yourself, and then nobody wants to fucking join you anyways. You know, they all want you to die so they can take your damage. So, it's much more valuable to bide your time, tank your own damage, you know, and wait for your opportunity, you know, wait for the opening that we will all receive. I'm not gonna say you're gonna receive like 8 million of them in one life, but everybody gets one, right? The problem is they don't stay consistent enough to see it or to take advantage of it. That's what luck is. It's just preparation. And then when the opportunity arises, you just take it. You know, preparation and opportunity. That's all that luck is, you know, but everybody has that lucky break. I feel like, in my eyes, my strategy has been a lot of preparation. And this is accumulated preparation, because I generally think that I wasn't ready before. I wasn't. I wasn't. So the reason why I say accumulated is because, the fact that I knew I wasn't ready led me to sort of shy away from, you know, the types of actions that would allow that opportunity to come. I would self-sabotage a lot. And this is the dark side of luck because people will sometimes call themselves just an automatically unlucky person. I don't think so. I think there's ways to artificially enhance your luck stat just by being open and honest with others about your directions. And that's one way that I was sort of concealing my meat that was not good, right? Like sure, the money part, right? But the energy, right? A lot of people are just afraid of it when you have so much of it and it's undirected, right? They don't know what's going on and there's no way for them to. And thus, if you were to just let people know where you want to go, what you want to do, what is happening below the belt, they'd be able to help you. But, hiding energy, it just builds tension, and then there is a proper way to build tension. But it always needs release, It always needs that segment where you shed a few layers. And the problem with guys is that we don't know how to give a proper amount of release. And I notice this too myself. Sometimes when, a guy is just like unwinding and letting me know about his true self, it's like, whoa, man, it's a little bit much there, guy. You can chill that out there, Buster. Because sure, you can build tension, but without enough tension, if you give like too big of a release, then that's also bad, then you've ruined your rubber band, It still has to be able to build that tension again, just like an endless cycle. And this is why I think most relationships are bound to fail, because everybody decides to go all in day one. And which is why I think just anime girls, just in general, are far superior, because they're not going to change, You can hold off your gooning power, because it's not something so ethereal that looks amazing that you're like, there's no way this could, what, like, how did they look this good, You're not distracted by the general amazingness of them. Like, I can just sit back and be like, oh yeah, that's not really real, that's just a thing. They look really good, but they're gonna look this good every day. But I don't know, if I see a beautiful woman in real life, I'm like, how does she do that? How is this possible? Is this real life? What the fuck is happening? And I suppose it's the opposite for some people, but I've always had this suspension of disbelief. It's one of the reasons why I can't truly enjoy horror games or horror movies. And I think it's a little bit of a traumatic result from my childhood. I watched a lot of weird, scary shit on Newgrounds, and that probably triggered a lot of people right there, just that statement. But yeah, I'll give you a little insight. It all started with Mr. Happy Face. And then for Mr. Happy Face, I was like, what's going on here? And then I went down the salad fingers route, and I just kept looking, and maybe should have stopped at some point, but because of that, it's just my horror glands are fucked. I just know it's not real. So there's this sort of suspension of disbelief that comes with everything online, everything on a computer, everything that doesn't look completely realistic, even AI to a certain extent, that I just can't intrinsically, emotionally connect with. That I think is good, because these are real people. I do realize that point, right? Like, Late Primrose, real person, not an AI, cool individual, right? But at the same time, because of this crazy time we live in, I am able to separate myself from, the fact that oh my gosh, how could I ever talk to somebody so amazing or whatever? Because it's just like I'm not really seeing them, I'm not truly leaking into their lives, and sort of encompassing more than they're allowing me to. And I think that's the main thing, man. With the whole parasocial relationship and the fact that I am hardly ever in chat, in some streams I just feel like I'm saying too much. And that's my main thing. I don't want to know too much. The less I know, the better. Please and thank you, And a lot of times, that just comes from me in the past not protecting my meat. Okay, I've learned. I've seen what knowing nothing does to a motherfucker, and I've seen what knowing everything does to a motherfucker, and it's all bad. All bad. So, I have to be honest with myself and know that I am a rather inquisitive individual, and, casually learn what I want to learn, what I need to learn when I learn it. And a lot of you might be a little confused about this stuff. I really try to keep this under wraps a little bit too much. I don't like to let people know my superpowers and shit, because I can't really control them. I never really have been able to, but I just notice a lot of shit. So if I'm watching an IRL streamer and there's a window open, I'm gonna find shit out, okay? It's just not like my fault, okay? I try to not find shit out, but it's like, I wonder what would happen if I searched that street sign. It's just like, I'm curious and inquisitive individual, okay? And if I really like you, I'm the kind of guy that just goes in on details. I do. Not for anyone's sake but my own. It's very selfish. I used to think it wasn't selfish. It's very selfish. But yeah, I just want to know. Because I really like them. Because I really enjoy the presence. I think it's a bright individual. And yeah, from me not protecting my meat, I ran into a couple of awkward situations from people doing the exact thing to me. And so I was like, I need to kind of not do this. Golden rule type shit, right? It's how I became such a private person, It's how I became the kind of person that a lot of people want to copy. So I don't explain shit, I just kind of do it, And I think this is something that a lot of people want but can't really understand how to do. I'm not going to give you directions. I'm just going to say shut up and shut everything else up too, I don't care if you need to like just have a bunch of visual stimulation on and stuff, but it's the sound for me. It's the sound for me. I really just need to be at peace with my own thoughts. And also, it's the nature, Sometimes I'll just leave a bunch of streams on and I'm just like, I have to get outside. I have to, which is why this winter storm is really fucking me up. I don't know if you guys are having trouble here in the US. Japan, take me away, please. Japan, fly me away, please. Tourist, oh my god. But yeah, right now it's about 29 degrees outside. We've gone up in degrees since yesterday too, so quite tragic. But I think this weekend's going up to 45, so hopefully we'll be able to wear like 8 layers and get out there or something. But yeah, it's nature, and honestly, it's loving yourself. It's doing whatever you feel gives you light in your life. It gives you that love that you feel like you deserve. So I think we all do deserve it. I think we all do. But the problem with love and the problem with seeking love is that we're all looking for people to give us it, like what we want or what we deserve, or what we feel like we need. When in reality, we have everything we need. We should honestly just be giving it to ourselves. And that's the end all be all of that. People don't at least girls. I don't know about guys, man. I think we just gravitate towards anything that looks good, to be honest. But women don't generally gravitate towards things that are seeking out of a lack in the first place. Okay? Which is so stupid. Because that is why I get sought out a lot, and it's not the worst thing ever, right? I'm thankful that there's even some people that want to look or witness me. But the more and more I come across easy validation, the less and less I treasure it, and the more and more I get angry, just so angry because I know so many guys who are trying, who just haven't figured it out, and it's like, will they ever? Maybe not, and I'm tired of it. That's why I've generally, I don't really invest too much into people. Like, I'm there, I'll let you know I'm there. But yeah, I can't. I literally just can't. The internal world is too full. We've reached capacity, truly and wholeheartedly. And I think a lot of other people need the love that you are willing to give to me. I think people can detect that. I think they can. I think they, like, intrinsically, it's a little bit of a self-deprecating kind of nature, but I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on the cusp of the average guy and the, multi-million billionaire crazy person who is out of touch with reality. because I do feel very obsessed with, you know, not only what I'm doing now, but other things behind the scenes, which I probably will never tell you guys about, but it's a life-changing process. It really is. And I hope to keep the Koopa channel the way it is, but if it's not, then, you know, you're gonna have to forgive me. It's okay. You know, we had a good run. I know for certain we are getting version 5 done by February. I'm pretty dedicated to that goal, but if I don't set another one after that, you'll probably know what's happening. And I have an idea for another goal. It's just a lot of things are in flux right now, so I don't know where we're gonna be able to take this, especially with the whole move going on, because I'm sorry, I'm just not the kind of person to live with my parents. It's not like I hate my parents. I very much love my parents. I very much do. But everyone I live with, I end up not loving. And that's just me. I am an average caterer to people, okay? And the catering and the lack of agency on my own wants and needs just automatically leads me to hate and resent and ask, like, why do I have to live with this person? And it's you know, you're creating your own hell on house, hell on home, without even realizing it, by just you know, making everybody else feel super comfortable when you don't feel comfortable in your own space. This is why I record these things when, you know, nobody's home, or when everybody's asleep, or whatever, because I don't want to disturb people. I never do. You know, it's funny because for the longest time when I hopped into streams, I wouldn't say hi, because I thought I would be disturbing people, especially if they were in the middle of something, you know? And even still, I feel a lot more comfortable saying hi during a break and just being like, hi, hey, I'm here, I'm lurking, bye. And I know, even still, you know, I'm trying to be nice to people, and even still, some streamers don't like that shit, you know? They'll hop off break and be like, oh shit, hello, what's up? You know, that's not the point. That's not why I did it then. That's not why I did it. I did it then so that you wouldn't have to, you know, but... And that's the thing about streams. This is why I really didn't feel comfortable interacting with them for the longest time, even though I've been on Twitch since it was basically like Justin TV. And I was hanging out with Intom64 and the Psycho crew on all of their marathon streams, and you know, the start of AGDQ and all that wonderful stuff, which is funny because it's not something that I really watch anymore now. Like, I still love the majesty and the clips and the just general skill and love and passion for speedrunning. It's not something I really need to watch anymore, though, personally. It doesn't really pull me forward in my discipline, to be honest. Now, there are, you know, specific speedruns that I will catch, but, you know, watching the whole week-long marathon, it's not. Especially since, you know, I don't think I've ever donated. And not just, like, to the marathon, I don't think I've ever donated to a Twitch streamer, period. No, wait, I have. Never mind. I do. I just don't do it when they're live streaming. Yeah, I don't think I've ever like had a TTS donation thing or whatever. I don't do that. But I have waited until people are offline and donated to them, like a few, like maybe like one or two. But at the same time, guys, you gotta realize, you know, with your meat, it's not gonna go away. Okay, that's the only thing we have. Okay, so I'm not mad at myself for what I used to do as far as these streams go, as far as life goes. You know, just being wary as possible, because it's gotten me to here. But yeah, I have to do things a little bit differently now. You know, I of course we're protecting our meat, but you got to give the right amount. You know, so that you get something back. It's like anything, you have to give money to receive money. You know, and so just make sure it's natural. Just make sure it's authentic. Just make sure it's actually what you want to give. And slowly but surely, I think I'm growing into something more personable because of it. You guys can be the judge. But I think a lot of the times we discount what a small act of, you know, appreciation can do for people. It really does change a lot of environments. And it doesn't have to, like, you don't have to be in stream chat for like 8 hours, you know? I realize that this is not an invisible channel anymore. You know, people realize what I'm doing here, so just one word, a message in chat, it's just like, oh shit, this guy who's doing literally everything is talking to me, that's crazy. You know, it can do a lot for people. So, you know, and it takes like literally nothing from me, right? My meat is still protected. You know? But when I say protect your meat, I'm saying, man, like if you have shit to do, don't just sit and chat and just goon at them all day, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Okay, that is like elevated forms of distraction, all right? And I love you guys, but I'm sorry, there's no place for losers on this earth. There's no place for losers, there's no place for idiots, there's no place for people who don't want to better themselves. And I wish there was. I wish there was. I don't think everybody should do this. Why? Because it's sad. Because I'm sad. Because I'm lonely. Because I have to have 4 streams on at the same time so I don't kill myself. So I don't want everybody to do this. All right? Now, this is not your motivation to be a super hard grinder. This is your motivation to be fulfilled. All right? And that's what I think a lot of people are going to these other people for. You know, you may even, perhaps, you may even watch these videos to be fulfilled. And if you are, then good. But I want you to take an action as well. Just one. Just one. And no, playing another video is not an action. Okay, a physical input that is used to generate a creation. It doesn't have to be one to fuel your success. It doesn't have to be one to better your career or to make you all these monies or to make you a millionaire or to get you a girlfriend. Just something that makes you feel happy. Something that makes you think maybe this world is worth it. Oh shit, we got Terry. Tari. So I'm gonna give him a Slatomaton card here. A lot of my cards have expired, but I am grinding Sage right now on Primrose so that we can actually beat the Slatomaton eventually. And I won't have to give it to Terry every time. I know Harurun be doing those Slatomaton challenge runs and stuff like that at night, but I'm learning, you know? I definitely don't jump in those. It's not just because I can't speak Japanese, but I really do want to do this whole solo thing, so I'm learning how to do it. We've got Tatsu so far. We will get our Guna robot. We'll get that Clanker soon, guys. And I don't know when we'll get the Poison guy. It's also one that you need to you gotta do lottery for. And I have plenty of tickets, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I still have to get to version 5 and stuff. But yeah, that's what we're grinding the Sage right now. I really want to get to at least 115 with Sage so I can get the lordly robes on her, because I think I already have the lordly set for our Death Master. I want to put it on Sage as well. And then we'll have a pretty good group of characters up to basically like max equipment level. Because I'd say the lordly set is probably the best one for most of your healers, and you're just going to get to 115 to put that on. There's really not too many better 130 level, like higher level healing things for people. But I'll explain that in another episode. Yeah, we're talking about meat. Yeah, we're talking about meat, baby. We're talking about that meat, baby. Yeah, man. It's an important thing that you have to remember. But there's always levels to this shit, man. Like, of course, protect it, but you don't just want to be a lonely gooner for the rest of your life, right? So, you know, give where you can. Give where you feel like you want to. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people just, they drown themselves on a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter. You know, for the sake of the grind or whatever. And then the grind works. Like, what if the grind works and then you're up there with all this bullshit that you don't like, that doesn't matter, and nobody wants you now for the reasons that, you know, the virtuous reasons that you want them to. That they want you because you're that guy, you know? And so I think, you know, if right now, you know, I had all the power and the influence of a Drake or something like that, I'd want to be doing this exact same thing. It's not like I would go in somebody's chat and say like 8 million more things than I do right now. I'd probably want to do the same thing. I just, you know, I would get more clout, I would get more love, and that would be it. And I don't want to do things differently. And so now that I have protected my meat for so long, you know, now it's time to swing that shit around. You know, you're disciplined. You're on your path, and I think at this point, now that I've connected the distractions and the discipline, like, it's okay, because I'm not really betraying myself to give them more attention than I think they deserve. You know, I will give attention to people who I really treasure and who I really want to, you know, feel the love that I have. But I realize a lot of people already feel it, you know? No matter what, there's no way we can truly get rid of our digital footprint. And I knew this from a very, very young age. You know, and that's not to say this is sort of like my goodbye pledge or whatever the fuck, but I know the internet is a forever place, and I know I've spread a lot of love already. Not denying that. I feel like the 1K live stream really put that in perspective for me. And I think a lot of times we sort of discount what we've already put in, you know, to our meat, like what we've already done to grow our meat. My meat's very, very large. I have very large meat. This is a horrible analogy. I hate myself now. But yeah, you already know, you know, what you're capable of, really, to a certain extent, until you try like this, until you just say, you know what, discipline, you know what, distractions, everything must come to a head right here. Let's stop fucking around. Let's stop playing games with everybody. And why don't we just lock in? Like, why not, right? What if it was to happen to me? What if I'm actually that guy? And a mindset like this is very powerful. It's very scary to a lot of people. Especially me. I realized that a lot of times I was just sort of fighting myself on what I believed in. Because, you know, the things were so guarded, you know. I would guard it even from myself. I wouldn't trust my own intuition on what I thought was right or wrong, or improper. And the mind truly is a battlefield, guys. It really is. It really is. It really is. You realize nobody can make you do anything, really. Not a damn thing. Also, I think the audio just got distinct in this video. If it's distinct on the recording, then it's fine. I don't really care. But we're gonna have a little bit of an anecdotal here story about the old playthroughs. So one of my first RPGs that I did on this channel was Evolution Worlds, over on the GameCube. And I remember, it's not finished, right? I remember the reason why I stopped it is because of this exact reason. The audio got desynced on a part, and I had already saved over it, so I couldn't re-record the part unless I like played the entire game up to that point. And you know, I didn't really want to do that, and so I was like, ah, fuck. And I don't even know what my conclusion was. I think it's just something else happened in life, and then, you know, just the momentum from everything just brought me away from the channel. It's very sad because I fucking love that game, man. I really do. Evolution Worlds has some of the greatest characters. You know, very simplistic dungeon design and all that, but this was me back in the day. I used to care so much. You know, and it's not like I don't care now. It's just like there's just no choice to not move for me at this point, you know. And I mentioned this a couple of other MMO episodes or podcasts. I can't remember, but like everybody's bad right now. We're all bad, okay? And I realize I've had these leadership qualities for a long ass time, and it's just time to move, you know? I can't stand not taking action at this point. It's disgusting to me, you know? It's almost as disgusting as hearing this audio desynced. I just had to take my headphones off too because it's really frustrating me hearing this desynced audio. So I really hope you are watching on another tab or something, because me watching this footage back, I'm probably gonna have to mute it for my own purposes, because the desynced audio is definitely triggering. And that's the thing, guys. You have to just be comfortable with your failures, with the things that you don't like, you know? So that's why. I don't want to upload something I don't like. But I realize, like, as a person, I actively engage with things that I don't like all the time. And you know what happens to me? You know what happens to me when I do that, guys? You know what happens to me when I actively engage and think and have active thought by myself or with somebody else who's open to have these conversations about something that I do not like at all? You know what happens? I end up liking it. I end up, at least, at the very least, understanding why people can connect with this. And I think this open-mindedness is the true defensive nature of tanks, okay? I think this is really what tanks are doing. Because like damage is not just gotten rid of. Like you can't, like all energy, you can't just destroy it, right? You can't. Like it's not, you destroy energy, no, right? So all that attack power, it's just being understood. It's just being processed. It's just being alchemized, okay? They just do different things with it than just tank the damage, okay? That's it. It's nothing too complicated or crazy. So, protect your meat. Change that energy, change that attention, and change that time, okay? I all know that we want to spend copious amounts of time and energy and attention with the women and the men that we love. And I'm not saying don't do that, okay? But change the way that alchemizes in your life, okay? Protect your meat, people. I will see you next time on the MMO Sleep playlist. Have a good rest.